Oh yeah, look at that. Beautiful. Ooh, it smells so good. Hello, my friends. Alex with Hopefully Level Headed Media here. Today I'm going to talk about how to start roasting your own coffee beans. This was actually a gift to me for my birthday, and I never really thought I'd get into it, but I've always been into espresso and lattes and making cappuccinos, etc., etc. So my mother actually thought that I would like to get into this. So today I'm just going to kind of walk you through the process and kind of how easy it really is. So yeah, let's dive in. The main tool that we're going to be using today is the Nostalgia Air Pop popcorn maker. I'm not receiving any kind of monetary incentive to promote theirs, but if they want to toss me some money, that'd be great. So this is kind of like the layperson's style of roasting beans. There's plenty of other ways to do it. You can spend hundreds of dollars on a proper roaster, or you can do it over a stovetop if you really, really want to. Something that I also got was the Coffee Roaster's Handbook by Len Brout. I'm not sure how to pronounce that. Sorry, Len. This is a pretty cool thing. It just talks all about roasting, and I really like it. I've read it pretty much from cover to cover. It covers just about everything you would want it to. So besides that, you're going to need some proper beans. So there's this place online called lenscoffee.com. I wonder if it's the same Len. He sells all sorts of different stuff. They sell it all. So you can kind of find like a bunch of different things to purchase on there. You can do kind of a starter kit too. Something that is really helpful here is it's like a roasting chart. Sorry, the lighting's kind of crummy, but I'm doing this in my kitchen, by the way, and we cook three times a day, so it kind of has a bit of a lived-in look. So forgive me, but it's not a set. Basically, this just kind of tells you how dark you want to go, how light you want to go. So it gives you something to kind of look at when you're comparing. If we bring it over here, you can kind of start to figure out like where you're at. I'm kind of in the 5 to 6 range. That's kind of where I like to be with my roast because I'm doing espresso and things like that. So I like to have a darker roast. If you're just making coffee, obviously you can go up more, or some folks like it dark too. It's all good. Something else that I have out is just basically our favorite brand of coffee if you were just to purchase some already roasted beans. Fazenda Espresso Blue. Again, not getting any incentive for promoting it. We just really like it. Okay, so from there, we'll dive into the actual roasting, and we'll go from there. Okay, so this is what the air pop popcorn maker, or coffee bean roaster looks like. There's nothing much to it. It has an on-off switch on the back end. Nothing crazy. It's just like a simple coffee pot. And then if you look inside, there is basically a place for hot air to circulate. And then if you were actually doing popcorn, it would pop up, and then it would go whoop, boom into a bowl. That's not going to happen with coffee beans because they're a little bit denser. But you will get what's called chaff that will come off of the coffee beans. Basically, it's like skin. It's really, really light, and you'll see it popping out, and I'll get you some footage of that. Okay, so the first step is to actually turn the unit on. It does get a little bit loud, so I'm probably going to cut in between a little bit just because you don't want to sit here listening to it the whole time. But I'll turn it on. So I don't know if you can hear that, but it gets kind of loud. It's not so bad, like when you walk away maybe 6 feet, it gets to be much more tolerable, but obviously not for filming. So what you want to do is heat it up. Turn that off for a second. What you want to do is you want to heat it up, and at first you'll feel the heat coming off of it, but you'll still be able to keep your hand here. You'll know, it's usually only like 2 or 3 minutes. You'll know it's getting pretty hot when you can stick your hand here, and like maybe 3 or 4 seconds you're like, okay, that's getting pretty uncomfortable, I'm going to take it off. As you can see up here, it actually is a little bit warped. I can't remember if it came like that or if it warped itself a little bit. I may have grabbed it at some point when it was super hot here, or maybe well, I remember one time I picked it up and I was like, oh, that's hot, you idiot, you know, and I think maybe I dropped it and it dented it a little bit while it was still really hot. So obviously this thing is going to get hot. Please be careful. Down here, it doesn't get too hot. You could pick it up, right, you know, while it's on and hot. I would not advise touching up here because the heat comes up, and then this is kind of where it all stays. So obviously right now it's okay, but once it's like really hot, don't touch it. So, all right, so let's turn it on and heat it up, and then we'll move on to the next step. Okay, so I just heated it up for a couple of minutes, and I felt, and it was like, yep, I can't leave it there I can't leave my hand there any longer. So the next step is to get your coffee beans right there. Like I said, I got this from lenscoffee.com. Yeah, .com. I'll put the link in the description below. I will also put the link to this bad guy right here too. I believe it came from Amazon, but I'll double check that. So next we have our 1/4 cup of beans. Depending on where you get the beans from, it may be a good idea to sift through them a little bit just to make sure that there's no cracked or you know, just garbage beans. This stuff I've already kind of gone through a lot, so I have kind of high faith that it's okay. So no worries for me. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to dump it in this way. Normally I take the top off, but that's fine. Okay, and then you put the hat on backwards. It doesn't go on forwards like that. It goes on backwards, boom, and then we're going to turn it back on. Doing this one-handed. Okay, going to move the camera. And you can see it circulating around. The heat and the air just kind of pushes it. There's no moving parts or anything like that. So what you're starting to see coming out now is the chaff that I was speaking of. As the heat gets to it and it spins around, it kind of undergoes this de-skinning process, and that's going to continue for a while. This part can be a little bit messy, so it's nice to have a big bowl. You can kind of like move it out a little bit if you need to. It's not going to catch it all, but it is what it is. It's like a motto for my YouTube channel. It is what it is. Again, lived in kitchen. Okay, so just shut it off for a second so I can show you and not be annoyed. So that's what the chaff looks like. I'm going to put the mic down and I'll pick some of this up real quick. See if you can pick this up on the mic. It has a very light sound to it. It's almost like Rice Krispies, like a lighter version of Rice Krispies. So yeah, it is obviously compostable. So if that's something that your household does, you can throw it right in compost and it's good to go. All right, I'm going to turn it back on now. Okay, so you can start to see it getting darker and darker. So right now, we're not even on a light roast just yet. See it's bopping around there. We're not even on a light roast yet, so we still got some time to go. The whole process probably takes about 20, if you're really cranking, 20 minutes, maybe 30. I think my first try took 30, and then it was like 20 minutes. Okay, we're gonna cut again. All right, let's take a look. So we're kind of at the blonde roast stage now. So we're getting there. Once it kind of gets to that point, we're doing okay. There we go. And we'll cut again and we'll pick it up in a few minutes. All right, let's take another look. Yeah, so it seems a little bit lighter when you look at it from the camera's viewpoint, but it's actually headed more towards a medium. So we're definitely getting there. We're around medium now. Cut once more, and then we'll shut it off for good. Okay, let's take one last look. I'd say we're pretty good. I'm going to go ahead and shut it off. But I need a hand to do that, so I'm going to put you down. There we go. Ooh, that's better. You don't realize it after a while, but once you turn it off, it's like, oh, that's better. Okay, so this is all extremely hot. I can touch it probably about that much, and then after that, it's like, ah. So I'm just going to be careful. I'm going to just put this off to the side. So you can't even pick it up there. Ooh, boy. It's hotter than last time. Okay, that's not too bad. It's still pretty hot, but it's tolerable. Okay. Then I'm going to unplug this. And I'll bring it around here, and I'll drag you with me in just 1 second. Okay. Okay, that took longer than I expected. I had to cut for a second because I almost dropped the camera. Okay, so let's dump this in and see what we got. Boom. Yeah, this did get pretty hot on the second run. As you can see... Oh, you can't see. There we go. As you can see... it turned out pretty much exactly the way the other ones did. Ooh, that's hot. Ouch. Trying to get some of the ones on the bottom there, but pretty much exactly the same. There's a couple of little kind of crummy pieces there, but yeah, whatever. No big deal. Maybe a connoisseur would notice, but I certainly wouldn't. So that's pretty much done. What you're going to want to do now is they recommend... the powers that be, they recommend that you let the beans rest for 24 to 48 hours. You don't have to. I mean, I've definitely ground up beans that I just roasted because I was just excited and I wanted to try them, and they tasted just fine. It depends on, are you making espresso? Do you put anything in your espresso? Or are you making a latte where you're dumping a bunch of cream and, caramel flavoring into it? So that's kind of the big difference. I let mine rest for a day. So I'm going to leave these like this. I'm going to let them cool off, and then I'll put some saran wrap over the top, and I'll just stick it in the corner. Tomorrow I'll grind it up, and I'll put it where it needs to go. So that's pretty much the process. Something else that you can do too is you can kind of, you can kind of compare them against a brand name, and I would say they're pretty right on. I mean, I'm not sure I would be able to tell the difference if these weren't, trying to scald me. Helps if you can see. There we go. See, I'm not even sure if I can see a difference even off camera. So I think we're doing okay there. It's not, for me, it doesn't have to be perfect. I'm not, like I said, I'm not a connoisseur. I know what I like, and I like what I like. Besides that, I'm not going to sit there and be like, if only I did another 20 degrees, this much property would have happened. Nah, I'm good. So that's pretty much it. I was thinking about making a more comprehensive, guide to doing espresso and things like that. Let me know in the comments section if that's something you'd like to see. This is a newer YouTube channel, so I'm not making any money or anything like that. I'm just kind of doing this because it's a fun hobby. That being said, if I can make a little money, that'd be great. I'd really appreciate views, likes, comments, subscriptions, sharing me around. So we can grow this together. I'd really appreciate you watching, and take care of yourselves. Bye-bye.